All right, folks, you're listening to hour 2 of Handy at the Shandy episode 8. I'm Boring Jack. Still with me are Adam the Fraud and Table James Games. In hour 2 for you here, we're going to talk a bit about our Vegas to-do lists and spin that into what is to do on my upcoming trip to Vegas that I'm leaving for in 48 hours.
I'm so jealous. I'm so jealous. I looked to go this weekend and I just couldn't make it work. And
I've actually been
much
thinking a
FOMO.
lot about what you said on the last episode about the Penn State flight situation, because I've never lived near an airport small enough. You have to worry about just every flight out is taken because they all kind of go to the same places.
Oh yeah, like if you try to leave out of the State College airport, like when students are leaving, so end of the semester or spring break or anything like that, it's impossible. It's impossible. And then trying to get back into State College, like when students return, oh man, you're talking $2,000 for flights. So you then drive, like Harrisburg is not as good. Like it's usually going all the way to Pittsburgh or Philly to get a flight that's decent, or you just plan around it. It's like when I lived in LA, you just never drove between 3 p.m. and 6 p.m. You planned your day around, if I got to get somewhere, I'm going to leave at 1 in the afternoon, or I'm going to leave the place at like 9 or 10 p.m.
All right, so our main no laughing.
Sorry.
Our main topic this hour is Vegas to-do lists. And I imagine that because I brought this up and because I'm fastidious like this, I probably have the most rich written Vegas to-do list of the three of us. But I think in general, we all kind of keep in our head what sorts of things we haven't done in Vegas that we'd like to do. Whether it's something new, like when Pisces opened at the Wynn and it was getting a lot of hype, that went on the to-do list. It was like, this is something that at some point when I'm in Vegas, I need to do it.
Do you have like a legitimate written out to-do list? Like, is this a Google sheet?
Yeah.
It's like a Google workbook and each tab is a different property and there's little check boxes. Like, are you that?
I was going to say,
no, I have
mine's not rich or written.
Yeah.
I have a spreadsheet and it kind of has different sections of like, some are attractions, some are bars, some are like breakfast, some is like steakhouses or things like that. And sometimes it's just like little things I hear about and I have it there, not necessarily because it's like a bucket list item where I'd be like really sad if I never made it there, but more that like I want to keep it on my radar even after it's out of sight, out of mind. I've forgotten about it. Like there's kind of behind El Cortez, there's this building called the Ogden Building, which is mostly like condos and stuff. And it has like a restaurant on the ground floor of it. It was some chicken restaurant at one point that I went to that was pretty good and had good cocktails. But now it's apparently a restaurant called the Carajillo, so it's named after a cocktail that I quite enjoy. And I heard good things about it at some point in my life, and now it's on my list. So when we go downtown, maybe I'll try to get dinner at Carajillo at some point, stuff like that.
Nice. I like that. I don't have anything official like that, but it makes me want to. Now, I don't think I'm going to. Oh, I might someday, because it took me like 2 to 3 years of listening to everyone talk about how they had a nice spreadsheet of like wins and losses separated by games and casinos. It took me like 2 to 3 years to finally create one, which I have not kept up with. I think my last entry is like July. I need to go back and do it. But you know what? I think I'm going to try that. I'm going to try and get some sort of spreadsheet or some document with like to-dos. Because what happens is I'll read on Twitter, right? Like maybe a really famous influencer that has like millions of followers and like needs to not say bad things about other properties, you know, like Adam Bauer. I'll see them say something. I'll be like, ooh, I should check that out. And then I'll just forget about it. But if I had a to-do list, if I had a spreadsheet to put it on, I might remember it.
No, I do not have any sort of to-do list. I don't have anything written, nor do I aspire to have anything written. So I think I'm the nice kind of.
Are there any things in
other end of
Vegas
the
that you
spectrum.
haven't done that you want to do?
Not particularly. Maybe Bouchon, just so I can go and just say I experienced it just for the pod's sake. No, I mean I'm kind of going through it organically now, right? Where it's like, if I have time to do certain things, I have time to do certain things, but I'm not at this point. And maybe it's because I'm not going as frequently as everybody else is. 2 to 3 times a year is what I'm doing now. So I kind of want to hit the things that I really want to do and that I know that I like. And it's always that time risk, right? Of like, oh, I go and do this thing, but it actually kind of sucked and it didn't live up to the hype. But now I've wasted 4 or 5 hours of my day doing it. So part of it is I'm just deeply insecure and afraid of stepping out of my comfort zone, maybe.
So one thing you said there I really liked was the word organically. But before I go on that tangent, I
Okay.
want to ask how you decided. I guess maybe it was something your sister came up with, but how you decided to do like karaoke at On the Record.
Well, karaoke has always been a big part of my Vegas history, if that's the way to put it. For
Mm.
some reason, when I was going with my friends a lot in the early 2000s, mid 2000s, like that was just a thing that we did. Where a lot of us were theater kids, like some of us knew each other from like choir and doing musical theater and stuff. I know it's probably weird to think of me being in Guys and Dolls. I played Nathan Detroit, by the way, Frank Sinatra's role. I can't
Mm.
really sing very well, but mostly like when Frank Sinatra was in his talk singing phase, that's kind of me, like the Tony Bennett style. But anyway, so we all kind of knew each other from that. And then one of my sister's first jobs in Las Vegas, besides performing, was actually hosting karaoke. This back when they actually had like hosted. So she would like get the crowd going. She would occasionally sing a song just to kind of, get
Mhm.
people to like loosen up and stuff like that. And so we would go and support her. This used to be at Planet Hollywood, like right when you walked in too. And they had a bunch of different karaoke bars around town, like Imperial Palace had one as well. But they were like almost like every casino had one. Now it's like Ellis Island and a back room at On the Record is where basically where you get it. So we did that a lot. It was just kind of a cheap, fun thing to do. At the end of the night, good if you lost your bankroll for the day. Like we always knew we had that going. So that kind of just became a thing. But then I go out with this group, and again, a lot of people from high school. My wife's a musical theater nerd. It just kind of is something I can't escape at this point, even though I'm starting to desperately want to.
That that was a much cooler backstory than I expected. I mostly asked because to me that's something that would never happen to me without a big effort being put in to do something I wouldn't normally do, right? And so this brings me back to what you said about like, oh, I try. You say you try to like let things happen to you in Vegas more organically, and I think the reason that I have this inorganic to do list is because I found that if I just let things happen organically, I always just do the same shit. And I think I'm
Mhm,
going to do things. The worst part is I think I'm going to do X, Y, and Z thing that is new to me and cool or that I've wanted to do. And then I never do it.
mhm,
And so I'm trying to limit kind of the things that I think I might do, but actually will secretly never do and just convince myself otherwise. So I'm trying to kind of like get rid of that cognitive dissonance of like, if you think you want to go do these things, then maybe you should go do them or
mhm,
stop pretending. And that's kind of why having like a physical list, in this case digital, but the point remains like that's why that's kind of useful to me is that if something just sits on the list for too long without me doing it, I can be like, okay, Jack, you're not doing this, just axe it.
mhm.
But otherwise, it's a good repository of like, yeah, I don't know what I'm going to be doing Sunday night. Like, why don't we just check the list and see if there's anything I can tick it off?
Yeah, like part of it for me too is I know that I'm always going to be doing something new because I have family and friends in town who work on the strip and are there all the time and are inviting me to things. And I'm going to go do those things, whether they're working or they're just hanging out with people because I want to be with them. And so I'm kind of naturally drawn to do things that I wouldn't otherwise do. And these are things that would never even be on a list. I wouldn't even concoct some of these things, like going to certain bars or clubs and stuff, which is not normally me. So I always know that whenever I'm taking a trip, that is also going to happen to me and I don't have to plan for it. But I will admit I would be a better person and podcast co-host if I did plan to do some new things once in a while. So I'll make that
That's what this is
a
all about,
priority.
this whole
Yes.
segment. Yeah.
This is yeah. I'll do that from now on.
I need to. I think I'm in the middle between the two of you, where like I don't have this list of things I want to do, but I do try and have a couple things that I'm like, okay, I know that if I starting to feel like, man, I've been playing a little too much, I need to go do something. I'll have a couple things on my to do list, and I want to add things. Like I want to learn more about different places to go to, like what would be some new bars or new restaurants. I do try and if I am there on a Thursday, if I get in early enough on a Thursday, I do try and head out to Mom's Basement, which is the improv, the local long form improv theater, which I've talked about before. I try and hit up one of their shows. I mean, it's extremely cheap. It's like $15 to go. Sport Live, local theater, love it. That's something that's always on my to-do list if I get there on time. They do have some short form like comedy sports improv on the weekends. I haven't been for that, and maybe I will, but if it's a Thursday, I'm definitely going to do that. I wasn't sure when you brought this up. So for some insider baseball, sometimes Jack is like, this is what we're going to do. And like, doesn't want to tell us exactly what it is. He wants us to try and guess what it's
Or
going to be.
doesn't know exactly what it is yet.
Yeah, it's more
I wasn't.
if I have an idea for a topic that means something to me, I don't
Yeah.
want to tell you exactly what it means to me, because if it means something different to you, that's good content, right?
Right. So I wasn't sure if it was like, is this our to-do list of things we always do or that we want to do, or is it something that we haven't done and we want to do? So I also picked a couple things. One thing I would like to do, I would love to go to an open mic in Vegas, and I would love to perform, do my 5 to 6 minutes of an open mic,
Tight 5.
a tight 5. Just to like say like, hey, I went to Vegas and I did some stand up when I was out there, or even better, like find a contact or two that might be able to get me on as a 10-minute spot somewhere, which I might be able to find. That's like my, not a bucket list item, but something that it's like, yeah, I want that to be on a to-do list.
No, I disagree with you completely about getting like a feature spot in a nice club, because I mean, now that I perform at clubs and in like nice places, I do miss like grinding it out at like some shitty bar at 10 o'clock at night with like 15 other comics, sometimes 40. I've been at a place where it's like 40
Yeah.
other comics. It was just comics in the crowd. And you do 3 to 4 minutes in like this dive bar.
Nobody's
The
laughing
sound is
because they're
terrible.
just analyzing you.
There's a game on, right? You know what I mean? Like I actually, in a weird way, kind of miss that. It's almost like how I missed low rolling in Vegas, like super low rolling. I kind of just miss that feeling of it. So if you ever do that, we're going. It's going to be like 11 o'clock, some crappy bar near Rampart or something, way out there.
Way out.
Yeah, where it's just 4 people. That's what I'd want to do.
I got hired to MC a stand-up show through a company called Wisecrackers, and it was at a country club, and the Red Sox and Yankees were playing in the ALCS, and they had 5 TVs behind the stage, and they refused to turn them off.
Yeah.
So we just had to do an hour-and-a-half comedy show where everybody was watching the Red Sox Yankees game. It was so awful, but we got paid, so that's fine.
No, wait. When I did it in college, we had a stage, but it was next to the Burger King. But the Burger King was still open for like an hour into the show. So they'd be calling out orders on their microphone while we're trying to do bits on our microphone. We'd have to like stop. Anyway, we don't have to keep doing this. But yeah,
Sorry,
I'm on board with that kind of thing.
We should do that sometime. That'd be really fun to go and do.
I really do like the idea of the to-do list things being like bucket list adjacent, but like you wouldn't be torn up if you didn't get to do it. Like if the thing either became unavailable or you died, I guess, because that's the other bucket list alternative, right? Like it's just, you're just kind of like, well, it's something I'd like to do, but I'm not committed to doing it.
Like if someone brought it up, you'd be like, yeah, I'll do that.
And so that's why one of the things that I try to like keep on my to-do list is kind of on a per property basis. For properties that I don't really like or don't go to very often, I do try to like keep in mind the things that I would like to do at that property. And so like a perhaps really easy example is the new center bar at Excalibur that we keep talking up and none of us have ever played at.
I played there the second night it was open.
And like, so none of us have ever played at the center bar at Excalibur.
Okay.
Stuff like that, where it's like, I would like, that's something at that property that I would like to do that I haven't done before. Or another example would be like riding the lazy river at MGM Grand. Like MGM Grand has a lot of things to offer, most of them not super interesting to me, but going to one of those bigger like water parky style pools and just like relaxing, I feel like has something to it. Have you guys ever been to like the big Mandalay Bay or MGM Grand pools?
Yeah.
Nope, I have not been. I've never stayed at either of those properties, and I have barely been in either of those properties.
I don't like MGM Grand much, but their pool is great. And it used to be like one of the last MGM resort pools where all the cabanas were food and beverage minimums, not like a rental fee, which was great. I think they've cut that now, or it's like 25% of
Yeah.
its food and beverage, whatever. Like they keep every year, it gets worse and worse. But it used to be a great pool just for that reason.
So have you, Jack? Have you been to either of those
No, that's
pools?
why it's on my like vague to-do list. If I was there, what would I do sort of thing.
Yeah.
One thing that's been crowding my to-do list lately is the myriad speakeasies that have opened up in Vegas recently. And I feel like lampooning the amount of speakeasies in Vegas goes back like 6-7 years on podcasts like 500 by Midnight and stuff like that, where like in 2019 they were like, oh yeah, I mean, you're opening a new restaurant, it's gotta have a speakeasy, right? And it's like somehow that joke hasn't like gotten stale in the last 6 years because that's like what places are still doing. I know for a fact that within the last like 6 months, 2 new speakeasies have opened at Venetian specifically, where they have a new sushi bar that is like, it's on Restaurant Row, but it's as close to the cashier's cage at Venetian as you could see. It's like a sushi bar that has a speakeasy in it, and that's like one of the 3 things it advertises. You know, like every advertisement you see these days is like 3 things. Well, they'll be like whiskey, sports, beer, or stuff like that. Like it's always in
It's
threes.
the power of 3. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Adam,
that's
James, Jack.
hell
That's
yeah.
right.
This one is like, you know, sushi, hand rolls, speakeasy.
Battlestar Galactica. Yeah.
Now, Kim and I have this gripe, and you know how much this podcast
We
loves
need a
gripes.
good gripe.
Isn't the idea of a speakeasy is that you don't advertise it? Like,
right. That's exactly what I'm
and
getting at. Like, why is
I-
it on their neon sign?
okay, thank you. Like, or like, you know, oh, we have this is a speakeasy. Well, once everybody knows about the ski lodge, it's not a fucking speakeasy anymore. It's just a cool bar. So
See, I'm somewhat okay with the like faux speakeasy nature of it, as long as they just actually don't advertise it and don't put it on their signs and don't say like entrance to the, like if there's a big sign that says entrance to the speakeasy is here, that bugs me. If everyone knows where the entrance is, but it doesn't say it anywhere, you just have to know it, that doesn't bug me as much because that just means they did a good job of marketing it.
Yeah,
Still
soon
bugs
enough,
me.
like everything's gonna be speakeasy, and no one's gonna know. Like everyone's just gonna start walking through back of house doors or like through a kitchen they're not supposed to be in.
Yeah,
Like, I just assume there's a speakeasy back here. Sorry, I'm ruining your service right now, but
which makes me think, right? Like, there's got to be some real speakeasies that we don't know about. Those are the ones I want to, you know, find out about, not the ones that everyone's like, hey, here's 1 million views on TikTok because there's some insider who is because these places are just promoting the speakeasy. And I understand they got to make money off of it, but like, it's not a speakeasy. If you're advertising it, if you're pointing it out, not a speakeasy.
yeah, like downtown Grand should just call themselves a speakeasy casino, and people will go.
No one goes there
Exactly,
anyways.
Yeah. Like I'm in a speakeasy. Look at this is a casino in the speakeasy.
How do you feel about the vault specifically, James, with respect to this topic, given that you went there most recently?
I thought the vault was an extremely cool experience, and I will go again, and I really think we should go, honestly. But it's on the website. Like you can is it
I'll say you can walk past it though, and it's really unassuming. So like that's one thing where like I've walked past it many times and didn't even notice it. So that aspect I do kind of like.
And I will say that I did need to like kind of know, and like people won't know about it. So like I guess so. I don't know. I don't know if I need to have a hard line on something.
I think we need commandments. We need like the handy at the shandy 10 commandments of what makes something a speakeasy, like what thou shalt not do when promoting it.
I mean, definitely if there's a sign for it, no. But like
thou shalt not have a sign.
Thou shalt not have a sign. Now for ski lodge, right? There's the door with the little skier on it, but like that's not a sign exactly for it. So I don't know. Is that...
Well, the real giveaway is the like 12 to 18 people lined up waiting to get in the door.
Or even when there isn't a line, but they put the rope out so you know that there's going to be a line. That makes it not necessarily a speakeasy.
I think one of them just has to have the balls to put a speakeasy in their speakeasy
and not tell anybody.
I mean, we should be working just in. Where's Austin from the previous part of this episode?
We can go work for his theme park. Yeah.
A speakeasy, like yeah, synthetic speakeasies is what I'm
Yeah.
talking about.
So I think we should publish that. That would be a good thing to go. And I am not shitting on these places. I've never been into one of the speakeasies, I'll put air quotes here, speakeasies in Vegas, and not been like, oh, this is a really cool place. But some of them I think they're just really cool bars. Like that.
Right.
Just because you make a cool bar doesn't mean it's a speakeasy.
Yeah, like I think Bavette's has one. It's not a speakeasy, but they just call it the back bar, right? It's
Mhm.
behind the restaurant in Bavette's. Not many people know about it. Almost no one knows about it, but it's just a really nice bar in the back. They could get off calling it a speakeasy if they
Yeah.
wanted to, but they're just not.
Well, now a ton of people know it.
Yeah, as everybody's going to go there now.
And your point, James, is well taken in that that's why my list is so awash with these speakeasies. Like, as much as I frequent Resorts World, I've never been to the Here Kitty Kitty Vice Den, behind one of their like food court stalls. And I've heard good things about that most recently, again, on 500, but that's been on my list for a long time. The new one at the Aria Food Hall that is kind of like a more like kind of jazz. I think they do some live music there behind the donut place. There's a
Oh, I didn't know that.
speakeasy.
Hmm.
Yeah. And then obviously the vault at Bellagio. And I think I have one other there. Oh, yeah. At the Venetian, there's at their new food court. They have a speakeasy there called Close Company.
A lot of food court speakeasies.
Yeah.
The food courts are the newest parts of these casinos, and thus they have to open with a speakeasy per the rules we've previously discussed.
We need a Sparrow speakeasy. That would be legit.
Oh, like secret pizza?
Yeah.
That's actually kind of that, right? This one at Venetian is called Close Company, and it is done by the folks behind Death and Company, which is a New York City cocktail bar kind of turned national brand. And so I'd be interested to check that one out as well. But yeah, that's a lot of my to-do list is restaurants and bars, and then a lot of the bars are just these ones that I haven't gotten to wander into yet.
Well, I hope you get a chance to check some of them out during our trip that's coming up in less than 40 days.
Yeah. Hopefully you find some supportive friends who will go with you.
I don't know where I'm going to find that, because on this upcoming trip that I have, it is in less than 40 hours.
Oh.
And that was it. That was the whole segue I had. No, there's definitely some things I'm going to try to tick off my list on this one, including eating at that new Venetian food court, just like picking a spot and trying it, because there's a bunch of those. And another place I want to try, and I mentioned this on a prior episode and in fact did not go there, so it's still on the list, is Joe's Stone Crab at the Caesars Forum Shops. I'm committed to doing that this time. But
now don't leave your credit card there this time.
One thing about this upcoming trip is I think this is going to be the least amount of cash I've ever traveled to Vegas with, because it's a short trip. I'm only there 3 nights, really only 2 days. And I have credit at Cosmo where I'm planning on playing mostly. And I have credit at Resorts World where I might drop in and play, as I want to do at their Crockford's High Limit Bar. This kind of lent into something that James was talking about in our group chat, and we gave him the save it for the pod. James was talking about for the Formula One trip, he was considering like wiring in some front money to Venetian Palazzo to gamble with there, as opposed to opening a credit line. Do you want to talk about that a bit, James?
Yeah, so I have not opened up any credit lines in Vegas. I don't think I'm afraid of like, oh man, then I'm going to gamble more. But that would probably happen. That's what happens. So I don't keep a lot of money in my checking account unless I'm about to go to Vegas. Then I'll just like transfer some over from like the business account or the savings account to then take cash with me. I've always just taken cash, and then I have a $1,500 daily limit on my ATM card, and also the bank that I'm with, PNC, we get reimbursed for every ATM fee.
Shout out PNC.
So yeah, what are we plugging now? Right? What are we plugging? PNC. So it hasn't been that, because I would like to think that with the cash that I bring and 1,500 per day, I shouldn't need anything. Now, the economist in me thinks, oh well, with credit, then I got 30 days to pay it off, so like I could get that get that sweet, 3%
Interest-free.
divided by 12 return on my money.
Well,
So I haven't
plus
set
you'll
that
be
up.
a perfectly rational actor with that credit line you're
Exactly.
extended,
As
and
we all
so
are.
We
nothing could
all
go
are.
wrong.
Nothing could go wrong. So for F1, right? Like both Kim and I are going to be out there. We are going to be out there. We're getting in Thursday. So we'll do a little gaming on Thursday night. We've got Friday night. We've got Saturday night. We've got Sunday night. We might, drive out to another casino, like one of the on the way out to California on Monday morning. So like I probably want to bring a decent amount of cash. I don't necessarily want to be flying with all of that cash. And so since I don't have credit, there's two options. I could open up a couple of 1 or 2 credit lines. I'm sure I'd get some at Venetian Palazzo or Cosmo where we'll be staying. But I also could just like send in some front money, and maybe that would get some, one of the hosts' attention, because I do have a marketing person that reached out to me from Venetian, although they have not responded to anything that I've been asking them. So I might try to go through someone else. But I don't have anyone right now
You're gonna wire the cage money, like, notice me, please.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, so I might do that. I don't know. I could just say, you know what, screw it. We're just gonna travel with a wad of cash.
I first opened up a credit line as part of one of these poker trips where I knew I was going to be bringing a lot of cash, but that most of that cash was going to be for poker related activities and expenses. Whether it was like my buy into the tournament or staking friends into the tournament or playing in poker cash games or staking friends in poker cash games, etc. There was like a lot of need for cash on this particular trip. And I was like, I don't want to travel with that large poker cash bankroll and then also make sure I have enough money to fulfill my degen whims. And so I think I got like a $5,000 credit line at the Bellagio, which is the minimum you can open there. And I think that's the minimum at a lot of these strip properties.
It's pretty standard, yeah.
Yeah.
Was that a hard pull on your credit report when you did that?
I think it is, yeah.
Yeah, what's for me when I've done it?
I'm not well versed enough in kind of the whole credit rating world to even know like what that means or why it's important, but I do know that it was a hard pull on my credit.
Yeah, I don't know the difference between a hard pull or a soft pull.
Well, I haven't gotten legal approval to talk about this because I'm in the industry, but in a general sense, a hard pull is going to be a minor ding on your credit report, whereas like a soft pull is going to be related to things like checking your own credit report, accounts that you already have relationships with, kind of going over your credit again. Those are going to be soft pulls. When you're applying for credit somewhere, credit card, auto loan, mortgages, certain lines of credit at like casinos, they may do a hard pull, can have a very minor effect on your credit score. Depends on your own credit profile. I will not say anymore, so I don't get in trouble from my legal team. I was just curious when I did it at Biloxi, because I've done it before. The thing is, like when I've done it, I've actually gambled less at those casinos, and so I just haven't really done it in a while. Because like I've done it at Aria, and then gambled very little at Aria on that particular trip. It's always like I think I'm going to spend a lot of time here, but then I just end up not. Biloxi, I did it, end up getting food poisoning, so I didn't gamble for 2 days. I was just in the room. That's like my credit lines have just lapsed, and I had nothing to pay back. I do think it's a good idea, James, because I'm with you. I don't like carrying cash, and I think as my bankroll has gotten bigger and bigger, it's become something that I'm more concerned with. So I probably will for F1.
I do agree that it will make you gamble more, or at least like your willingness to gamble more will go up, right? Like it's not like it's having access to a line of credit is not going to make you gamble more than what you had budgeted for, but it's going to make you budget for more. That's my experience with it, right? Like I've never been like, oh, because I had a line of credit, I went way above what I was willing to lose. It's like, no, I was just already willing to lose more going into the trip because I knew I had this credit line available to some extent. And maybe I'm conflating two things that are actually not all that different, but like,
yeah. So I think I might set one up then. We'll see. Maybe it'll get the attention of my marketing executive that reached out to me from Venetian that I emailed right after, like legitimately within 30 minutes. I replied back and I was like, hey, I just booked this trip for Friday, Saturday, and I would love to add Thursday. and they're not comping it on my marketing offer. So is there anything you could do, or at least get me, a good rate for that Thursday? No response. I then called and left a message, and then I called again, and they didn't answer again, and I'm very upset.
Well,
So
it's probably like just the marketing bot that they have. Like,
it
who's the one
probably
at
is.
Cosmo, like Rosie or
Ivy? Oh
something,
no.
that just sends you messages, and you're just like, "Can you give me my offers?" And she's
It's
just
just
like,
it's
not.
just Ivy from
Yeah,
Caesars.
it's AI. Like, I don't know what you're talking about, but
So you're not bringing a lot of cash on this trip that you're leaving for in less than 39 hours now, since we've spent an hour talking about credit lines.
Yeah, no, I think that'll be kind of exciting that I have very little in the way of petty cash, but
Mhm.
we will quickly have cash upon landing and talking to the fine folks at the cage. I'm doing 3 nights at Vidara, so I get in Friday. I leave Friday after work, get in late Friday night. And by late, I mean with the time change, I probably will be landed before 8 and checked into the hotel before 9.
Mm.
One thing that I've always kind of griped about is that MGM lists complimentary room and suite upgrades as a stated tier benefit of the gold tier, and you never get anything. You just
Mm.
get the room you booked 9 times out of 10. But shout out to MGM, because I booked just a regular like studio room at Vidara, and I now have a Vidara suite when I look in the app, which is
Mm.
one tier level above. Basically, they have a number of studio room types and a number of junior suites. Most of the studio rooms are like 540 square feet, and most of the junior suite type rooms are like 780. So it's a reasonably bigger room.
it's 811 if my memory
That's
serves. But
that's actually probably right. Thank you, Adam. That is, I'm completely destroyed now. So yeah, complimentary upgrade has come through. 811 square feet. Thank you, Adam. Excited to see that like the tier benefit actually led to something.
do you think
Yeah.
that was a tier benefit? Because I feel like MGM changed the verbiage on it, so it's like you can get an enhanced room, but not an upgrade. Like it's like
I
by enhanced room, it's like within the same class of room, but it's like higher view, like something like that, or higher view, higher floor or better view type thing. I feel like they've changed it so it's not a room upgrade.
When I check in, I should ask if I got this because I have gold status. And if they say no or they don't know the answer, I'll just be mad right off the
Good.
bat.
But yeah, just
Yeah.
be mad in general, I think is smart. But I love that room. And the main reason I love that room is because you can pack light. Like if you're in a longer stay, which is what I'm planning to do later this year, they have a washer and dryer, which for
Yep.
me, spending all day in a casino smelling, I actually really like having fresh clothes to change into. And it means that if I'm on a longer stay, I don't have to worry about trying to overpack or, worried about clothes and stuff like that. I absolutely love the Vidara suites.
All those next level Vidar suites are just great. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, like I said, I'm going to be there for 360 Vegas Mark's Celebration of Life, which there's events for that both Saturday night and Sunday during the day. I get in Friday night. I have a couple friends that are going to be in town, Josh and Olivia, the couple that sat on either side of me, each hitting royal flushes at the Chandelier Bar. If anyone remembers that from my prior trip report, shout out to our most loyal and remembering listeners. They're going to be there for the When We Were Young music festival. They're going to be hanging out with another couple that's friends of theirs. And it sounds like the women have tickets to this music festival and the men are hanging out. So
Mm.
I'll probably get to see those guys at some point while they're there. But also, we both have our own kind of individual things going on. So nothing is planned, but get to see some friends of mine from Minnesota in Vegas kind of
Nice.
serendipitously.
It's the best.
Yeah. One of my really good friends is going out. Him and his girlfriend are going out for the We Were Young, and they're staying at Wynn. And I just talked with him today, and I got so excited because he was like, "Are there things that you think we should do?" And I'm just going down the list. I'm like,
Speakeasies. Yeah.
this. And then I just sent him the episode where we told my friend Lauren all these things to do when we gave our advice column. I just sent him that, and I was like, "Hey, timestamp 45 minutes in. Just listen to this. There's some really good stuff here." So
That means he ends up getting a frozen Bailey's at O'Shea's on the Link Promenade. That means I did my job, because
yeah.
that's the number one attraction in Vegas at this point.
Okay.
But so I had a question for you guys, because like I said, I don't really have a lot planned for this trip, and I'm kind of still mentally planning for it as we go and as we get closer. I should be all checked into the hotel by like 8:45 p.m. Friday night. And given that I want to go to bed before 11, this leaves me like maybe about 2 hours to get some stuff in. Like, what do you do on the first Friday night in town, given that you're trying to be like somewhat responsible and you've had syringes full of the good stuff on the plane already?
So if I was staying at Vidara and I got in at 8:45 and I'm ready to go, I would probably hit up I don't want to call it a food court. I always forget the name of it. Everyone knows the name of it in Cosmo, where all the food is, whatever that place is called, and grab something quick to eat. And then I would hit the shandy for 2 hours with like maybe 2 cocktails, just like a cocktail per hour, so nothing big, and play some video poker. That's what I would do. And then I'd go to bed.
This is the problem with hanging out with you guys, is that's way too similar to what I would have just come up with on my own. Like,
That's what I would do.
Adam, do you have
I'd hit
anything
up
wild
the
for me?
strip club is what I would do.
Oh, there
for
you
guys
go.
Yeah, go
to
to Sapphire. Yeah.
And do that.
I think
till,
it
like,
depends
4 or
on where you
5.
stay. Like, I think that's a perfectly reasonable thing based on Vidara. Like, if you were at Cosmo with a terrace, like what I did last time, I was in the same position. I think I landed at like 9:30, got to the room and checked in by 10:30. I just grabbed a cocktail to go, sat on the terrace for a bit, had a snack, and then went to bed. And to me, that was like the perfect way to take in Vegas and be in it, and then made sure I got to bed at a reasonable hour. But staying at Vidara, like the rooms are great, but it's not like, and as big as it is, it's not like Vegas chill. And if you stay in a Vidara room, you know what I mean. So I suggest the same thing. Maybe even just buying a cocktail at Chandelier
That's
and
not
hanging out and
happening.
sitting down.
but-
Okay, well, that's the thing. Because if you sit down and play, like, are you going to be out of there by 11 o'clock or before 10:45 if you want to be in bed by 11?
I could
Like,
play an hour of video poker and be happy.
okay, then
I
just
can
do
do
that.
that. Yeah. No, I really like the to-go idea. Like, get one cocktail at the bar and then get one to go and then get some takeout of some sort and then just chill in the room.
Unfortunately, it's going to be like, it's at that time where there's no sports, right? Like all the sports are done. Because like when you took the to go back up, right, and we were watching the Bears game or whatever back up in your room, Adam, at Cosmo, like when you talked about a couple episodes ago, I was like, oh yeah, that sounds great. But it's going to be 1 a.m. And like I'm not watching soccer. Like I'm not watching European soccer in Vegas. So I'm sticking to my get some food and go to the shandy. I don't know what else you would do. You're not a craps type person that would just like go play craps without already having 7 or 8 cocktails. So
Yeah, it depends on how we do on the plane. But like I should say, I did spend the miles upgrade for first class on the way there because I just booked regular economy and it was 11,500 miles for first class. So, north of $115, but not that much north of it. And again, that's kind of within the range that Adam gave me that I'm allowed to book first class without feeling bad about it because he would do the same. So I will have had some food and drink on the plane, which...
How many syringes?
Oh, it's going to be a 3 syringe night for sure.
Oh man. Okay.
I guess, I mean, I did have to clarify when, like in hour 1, as I mentioned, that like a listener wrote in about this, that like there's no booze in the syringe, right?
You
like
can't,
the whole point of the syringe thing, or the bringing cocktail ingredients on the plane thing, is that the flight attendants have to serve you the alcohol that you're consuming on the plane. And if you're going to enhance that with additional flavors and things, why not do it in a syringe? But other than that, like it's not like I'm adding extra like booze or anything to these drinks with the syringe jokes that we're making. But next question was something I'm trying to commit to for this trip, because we talked about this on the last trip, is I actually want to get up early and go for a walk every day this trip. So Saturday, Sunday mornings, and then Monday before I leave, I'd like to take a nice walk around the strip in the morning. As a result, I'm thinking I'm going to be pretty hungry for lunch.
Okay.
And one place I've been really meaning to try is Joe's Stone Crab and Prime Steak at the Caesars Forum shops. They open at like 11:30 every day. So I'm kind of wondering, is that a waste to try to go there for lunch? They have lunch specials during the week. I won't be getting that on a Saturday.
I don't think it's a waste
Mm-mm.
for going for lunch. I actually enjoy going to places, and I know like this is the first time you're going, and like you've wanted to go here, and it might be the only time you go there. But I like going to places where I know I'm going to order something different because I'm going during lunch. If I was here for dinner, I would definitely be getting this steak and potato. But now that I'm here for
Yeah.
lunch, I'm gonna try this kind of lighter dish. So I don't think it's a waste. I think it's great.
Yeah, and you're making a short trip kind of count instead of just going to the food hall every time and having something quick casual. Like you might as well enjoy it.
That's kind of what I'm thinking, is that I want to be at the celebration of life at Horseshoe around 6 p.m. that evening. And so maybe I'll do something kind of quick for dinner before that.
Hmm.
Mm.
And if I'm doing kind of a quick dinner, then maybe I do a fancier, more
Yeah, that's
involved
smart.
lunch. That's kind of my Saturday. Saturday, I'm going to wake up, take a long walk, try to get fancy lunch, maybe play a couple hours at Resorts World to see my favorite bartenders, then pop back to Cosmo and just kind of hang out there until that event that night.
Mm.
Kind of depends on what other people are doing, maybe, but maybe also doesn't depend on what other people are doing, and I'm just going to do my own thing. So for Sunday, same thing, want to get a walk in the morning, but the Vikings game starts at 10 a.m. Vegas time, and we are playing at home against the Philadelphia Eagles, who we thought
Mm.
were good. Maybe we don't think that as much anymore. We're only 1.5 point dogs at home, so that'll be kind of exciting. But it'll also be cut short by the fact that I have to get to Vesper Bar around noon for the other of these
Mm.
Mark Witowitz's celebration of life situations.
Well, I think if you're only going for a short time, you're probably going to stick on Central Time Zone the whole time, is my guess, right?
Oh yeah.
So, I think you've got plenty of time to wake up early enough, 6 a.m. and start your walk, 6:30 a.m. start your walk. So I think you can get back in time to enjoy the first half of the game. Maybe place a first half bet. I heard there are different bets you can make at the kiosk or at the window, and yeah, and then get over to the bar.
The question is, where are you going to watch it? Where do you
Mm.
plan on watching? Because I think that's actually a concern I have on one of our other upcoming trips, which is I do want to watch the 10 a.m. games, but where are we going to go for that?
Right. Like ideally, I would just sit at the Cosmo Sportsbook and watch it at one of their bar seats.
Mm.
But that's not going to be easy
Never is.
because they're going to be packed. So I don't have a good answer for that. I might just loiter around. I might get bored and go play at Shandy and just have the game be
And
vaguely
lean.
visible, kind of. Yeah.
Now, how early do you think you would have to get there to get a seat at the bar where you could play video poker and watch the first half of the game?
It's a good question. I guess that'll be the type of reporting that I might do on this upcoming trip if I don't just shower at 9:30 and get down to the floor at
Right.
10 and end up kind of behind the eight ball in that regard.
How long
But
would you want to go for a walk on that morning? Because you're gonna do a walk the day before and the day after. Like
I'm
you
going to
could.
try to do like a 2-hour walk every morning. That's
Okay.
that's going to be what's going to keep me sane, I think, is the goal.
So yeah, that's gonna unless you're starting walking at 6:30, which that's what I would say. I would say do that.
Oh, so yeah, Adam in particular, but
Mm.
you guys have given me shit in the past about not necessarily reporting on the things that the audience needs to know or that you guys need to know.
Yeah.
I'm the next one that's going to be in Vegas of the three of us. What boots on the ground reporting do you need to hear from me on this trip?
Well, I think I already asked one thing, which is at what time do I need to get to the sports book?
Right.
And
That's what brought me into this. That was the
yeah,
segue in.
that's one of them.
Well, I think we're climbing up the ranks in the Vegas podcasting world. We have to be at number 2 or 3 at this point, but we're very clearly known as a primarily video poker podcast too, which we maybe don't want to pigeonhole ourselves, but that's just who we are. We don't also need to run from it. We need to be having some sort of definitive list on what are the best video poker bars at each casino, because there's some where it's very clear, but there's some where maybe it's not. And so we need to be the ones that figure that out. So you need to be at Mandalay Bay, Excalibur, Flamingo. You need to be hitting the ground on these walks and making that kind
Yeah.
of determination so that people know, hey, this is where you go. This is what they're comping. Enjoy, and you're welcome.
Yeah, so on these 2-hour walks, you better be stopping and having a cocktail
Everywhere.
every
Well, that's the thing
casino
that
you walk
bugs me
through.
about some of the things that like Adam mentioned, like Mandalay Bay, is I'm not even sure they have a 24-hour video poker bar. Like the Rhythm and Riffs bar
It's open.
Is it? The one in the center bar is definitely not always open.
I mean, I said that without having any knowledge. I was just very confident. So,
that's part of the issue with some of these is they're just like, you want to go check it out and be like, oh, I wonder what the comp policy is here. And the comp policy is that there are no humans at the bar until like 1 p.m.
Well, that's what the people need to know.
I would like to try at some point the Cosmo High Limit bar in their table games room. But I think like all the machines are like $5 denom single line.
So I played there the last time I was at Cosmo one morning.
There we go.
And
I'll check that off the list.
No, but you should still go.
No.
I played everything for Ultimate X, if I remember correctly, was $1 or higher, but they had, I think, dollar super times or one of those other games where it was
at
18
3 lines. Yeah.
At 3 lines. So it was 18 a pull instead of 15. So it was doable. Like I wasn't, it was a little getting over that $15 a pull starts to really obviously can go fast. But I'm pretty sure that was available there. Same thing in the high limit room at Palazzo on the floor. That was the cheapest thing I could find, other than obviously at the amazing bar that no one else should go to, so that way it doesn't get overcrowded.
Maybe it's the best high limit rooms for video poker. Maybe that just to make it easier on you, because you're very much not for my original idea. And it's, I mean, you didn't say it, but I could feel it.
Everything you're saying is something I want to do, but like I would want to do a larger survey like that on a longer trip where I feel like it's not eating into like my time of doing other things.
I'm not asking you to hit every casino this trip, just one or two. I mean, I'm not asking for the world here, but like this gets us started. I'm not asking you to be John Mahaffey and going everywhere in one day, right? Just, poke your head in one place and just get the ball rolling.
Now it's just one. And you better fill out the entire spreadsheet.
Yeah.
Well, now I have to do it because I'm going to feel pretty bad if I come back and say, yeah, I didn't even go to a single new.
But it has to be an obscure one like Hoyo or something like that.
Please do. If you could find a way to get into Hard Rock and the new Hard Rock and figure out what their pay tables are, that'd be great.
500 will figure it out like within the next month, like what the video poker bars will be. Like his sleuthing is really good.
It's really good. It's great.
All right, I think that we've stretched it out long enough. That's going to get us out of here for hour 2.
What a stretch.
Episode 8 of Handy at the Shandy. I'll see you guys in Vegas.